Tess, we're speaking upon the end of the final international break of 2024. How was the sort of time off for you?
Yeah, it's been good. We've had 4 days off, which is nice. Not a full 4th day off for me. I had my coaching, I've done my UEFAB coaching badges these last months and had my final assessment on Monday. So that was slightly stressful in the lead up to it, but I'm very glad and relieved that it's over and hopefully, I've passed. So I stayed in Glasgow, didn't go home this time, which I sometimes do during international breaks, but it's been a good break nevertheless. A bit of a recharge and ready to go for a few more weeks in the last month of this year. Hopefully we can finish it off well and then into the new year.
Yeah, you touched on it being the last month of the year. You've had the final international break, there will be the winter break towards the end, but how important is this stretch of games in a few different competitions as well?
Yeah, so we have 4 more games to go and we obviously want to finish this first half of the season well, performance-wise and results-wise. So hopefully we can do that for ourselves and for the fans watching. So I'm looking forward to another midweek game as well. So we're going to play 4 weeks in a relatively short space of time, and looking forward to playing a cup game again and then a few league games to go.
Yeah, and the squad's coming back together as well. A few players that were out injured getting back to full fitness. Everyone will be needed in these coming games and the months ahead. Yeah,
we have a very strong squad, and especially with players having come back from injury, there's a lot to choose from for the coaching staff. So a lot of difficult decisions to make for them. So it's good that in terms of fitness, there's almost like a full squad at the moment, which is great. We don't have the international players back yet, but on Friday we will be together with the full team. Looking forward to those last games of the year.
Yeah, and before we go on back to the football, you of course recently attended the Scottish Football Awards and were given the honour of the Val McDermid Award. Just tell us about that night. How much pride does that give you being nominated for something like that?
Yeah, that was a great award to receive. Surprising as well. I was nominated for another award, didn't win that one, but the last award of the night was the Val McDermid Award, named after very powerful woman, strong woman in her views as well, who I highly respect. And she couldn't make it on the night, but there was a video message, she spoke highly of the work that I've done mostly off the pitch, which is nice to be recognized for something that you do away from football. It's still related to football, I guess, but when it comes to the letter that we wrote with 130 other female footballers to FIFA about their Saudi Aramco sponsorship. But it touched on other things as well, like my master's dissertation on the history of Scottish women's football. So not so much things that have directly to do with my performances on the pitch, but it's a very nice recognition for some of the projects I've been working on away from the pitch. So it's a very lovely recognition, which I'm grateful for, and thankful for the Scottish Women's Football organisation to hand me that award.
Yeah, you touched on your dissertation there and your studies. I imagine there's a lot of stress away from the pitch in terms of getting that completed, but just in terms of your choice, the history of Scottish women's football, what was your thinking behind that decision, studying that?
Yeah, so I've done my master's at the Open University in Holland. So I have been studying for a few years, having played for different clubs. So it allowed me to study over borders. When I came to Scotland in 2021, there was only one thing left to do to finish my master's, which was my dissertation. So I was like, I'll probably be in Scotland for the next while. Why not combine being in Scotland with researching something Scottish, the history of women's football and in Scotland specifically interested me. There's a lot of the earliest roots of women's football and first recorded games in women's football are actually in Scotland, which is something that I think should be celebrated and that people in Scotland should be proud of. There's been a lot of pioneers in the women's game here in Scotland. As far back as I think in 1632 is the first mention of women playing football, and then in 1881 that was the first record of a women's team in Scotland playing against a team in England. Then in 1972, slightly more recently, there was the first recorded official women's international between Scotland and England, even though at the time women's football was still officially banned in Scotland. So just a lot of like fascinating history there, and I wanted to know a little bit more about it, especially given the fact that women's football in Scotland was banned until 1974, which is 3 years later than most other European countries. So I wanted to know why there's both a lot of like pioneers, like in the women's game, but also a lot of like why they were met by so much like resistance as well in Scotland. So I really enjoyed, taking my time, 3 years in total, to complete my research and interview women who played in the 1970s specifically, and who told me amazing, fascinating, sometimes like sad stories of the resistance that they were met with, but also of incredible resilience to still go out and play, which wasn't normal being a woman in the 1970s. So I learned a lot, met a lot of incredible women, mainly a few men as well, who helped grow the women's game. So that dissertation is completed now, got a nice mark for it, and it also meant that I had fully completed my master's. So this was back in August. So that's been great to be able to finish that off.
Yeah, it's been quite the year for you away from the pitch, on it as well, signing the new contract in the summer. 2 trophies last season. Will that give you, towards the end of the year, give you that chance to sort of reflect on the year you've had?
Yeah, I think so, and especially like I mentioned earlier with my coaching course being completed, I think some of the girls were already saying, well, it probably won't last long before you take on another course or another type of education, but everyone's like, please allow yourself some weeks of rest and relaxation, especially going into the festive season and Christmas. So I think I'll listen to them and just enjoy being done with my dissertation and with my coaching course, and hopefully we can perform well as a team in these last weeks, and then home for some time with the family and friends. Yeah,
and just back to the football, of course, Scottish Cup action this weekend. You take on West Dyke. How important is to treat these games as professional as possible?
Yeah, it's very important. We want to respect every opponent we play, and also knowing that it's the first game that we play in the Scottish Cup, knowing that it's a cup we won last year, and it's a cup we would like to win again. We'd like to defend as if it's still our trophy. So this is, I believe, the 3rd round that we're coming into. So well done to West Dyke for making it to the 3rd round, and we're looking forward to meeting them on Sunday. I actually met someone at the SWF Awards on Saturday there, and she lives close, and she said, I can't wait to watch you play. So that's great. Hopefully we can see a lot of Rangers fans there who maybe live in the area and who maybe aren't able to come to every home game because it's a bit further away. So we're looking forward to the challenge, and then hopefully do as well as we can in the Scottish Cup. As like I said, we would like to defend our cup.
Yeah, you've played against low league opposition in your time at Rangers before. Is it just about treating these games like any other? Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes even regardless of opposition, there's things that we can improve on just within ourselves. We've slightly tweaked the system as we do constantly, to be honest, just to try and stay ahead of oppositions and try to get the best out of the players that we have. So there's always things we can work on, and we know that we probably against a lower ranked team, you probably need like a low block as well, which like means a couple of things for our formation. Like means we need to have a high ball speed, means that we'll be very crowded in the middle, so you need to have your ball speed, you need to try and find gaps in between opposition's lines. So in that sense, it's not that different from some of the other like oppositions that we face in the league. And it's all about doing ourselves justice and giving a good account of ourselves. Yeah, just lastly, you touched on winning the competition last season, the first time in the club's history as well. Do you hope Sunday's the start of another brilliant journey? Absolutely. That has been the goal for the season, to try and retain the cup double that we won last year, and of course the winning the league this year as well, that we narrowly missed out on last year. So that's very clear. Playing at Rangers, you want to win as many trophies as you can for ourselves and for the club that pride itself on winning trophies. So that is absolutely the goal for this year as well.